Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. Thank you for joining our session today about demystifying customer relationship management systems. My name is Lauren Smith-Petta, and I help oversee the educational programming here at JumpStart. In case you don't already know, JumpStart is about offering capital connections between entrepreneurs and services like this webinar to starting and growing entrepreneurs and small businesses in Northeast Ohio. I encourage you to visit our website and click on small businesses to explore our other programs and workshops. So on to today's program. We're really excited to partner with Front Burner Marketing on this session about CRM. You will all receive a recording and presentation slides after the session. Please put any questions in the question and answer widget. And if they cannot be addressed during the webinar, we will be sure to field them at the end, and Jenny will field them at the end. So without further ado, I will turn it over to Jen Kelly of Front Burner Marketing.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Jenny Kelly. I'm a senior account manager here at Front Burner Marketing. We are a digital marketing firm and a HubSpot partner. So we know a lot about CRMs. I'm really excited to share what I know and have experienced throughout my career and share this knowledge with you. So I have put together a presentation with a lot of dogs. So hopefully it will be entertaining, if for no reason other than that. So we will get started. All right. So a lot of people think that they don't know, or they really don't know much about customer relationship management systems. And now you can. You can learn all sorts of things through JumpStart's webinars, as well as through our marketing training room. We have a variety of digital marketing courses and classes, from a 30-hour fully comprehensive course to shorter courses that range from 3 to 7 hours. So kind of go at your own pace, online learning. And kicking things off here, Front Burner, we have, as I said, been a HubSpot partner. We have been for over a decade. We've been in business since 2002 and paving the way in digital marketing. All of our account managers are very experienced with at least 10 plus years. We've been resilient as we've changed with the industry and as things have gotten more and more digital. And we are really committed to not just our work as practitioners, but also our mission through marketing training room to make marketing information accessible to anyone who has an interest, whether they be a business owner or whether they be a seasoned practitioner who maybe just needs to brush up, or a practitioner in an adjacent field like PR, where they maybe need some complementary skills to continue in their field. So let's get down to business. Customer relationship management systems. You've probably heard them talked about as CRMs. So that's what that stands for. And what it is really a central place where all of your customers, contacts in general, live, and all of the data about your conversations with them, their actions on your website, their activity and engagement in social, just keeps everything all in one place. So it's, as I said, constantly evolving if it's automated, but it can be as simple as a spreadsheet if you're just starting out. So it's kind of a good idea to think about the long term, even if you are starting with a spreadsheet, and at what point you can really use that kind of platform and technology to help scale up your business. So, as I said, it's not just a central place. It is also a way to facilitate implementing inbound marketing and inbound methodology through automations. So let's start with what is inbound marketing and methodology, because this is really central to the reasoning behind a customer relationship management system that is on that constantly evolving information database side of things. So inbound marketing in general is a strategy to attract and retain customers, where you provide content and you customize experiences based on your customer insights or your visitor insights. Inbound methodology, however, is the customer-centric approach, where when you think about growth of your organization, you do that through helping people, solutions-based selling and an approach to marketing and sales. So both the strategy and the approach focus on solving problems and nurturing relationships. So it's, helping people, and as this little Jack says, being their friend, helping them and being their best friend, not necessarily best friend, but nonetheless. And then the term inbound was coined by HubSpot, which is a CRM. It is not just a CRM, it also has sales, marketing, service, and website CMS hubs as well. So you can really integrate all aspects of your company and your digital footprint. All right. So now that we understand kind of why CRMs can become very important when you're implementing a certain type of strategy, especially like inbound, let's talk about automations in general. So I've said that customer relationship management systems function oftentimes through automations, or some of the perks of using some of the platforms and the technology that exists, even though it can be a little bit difficult to learn and hard for your teams to adopt. Once you make that push and get there, or if you bring in a partner to help you get there, it's fantastic. And the insights that you're able to glean from a centralized system like that are incredible. So automations, basic level, they're just triggered activities. So you set some criteria, program some rules, and when those things happen, they trigger a communication or task that needs to happen. So it could be something like an automatic response email, something very simple like that, where you're out of office, you have your vacation responder on. That is a form of an automation. It's a very basic one. Web forms are another type of automation, where once someone fills out a form, that triggers responses based on their inputs. Workflows are another type of automation, and we're actually going to dig into each of these in more detail. And then sales funnel automation. So these are what we're going to focus on today. I would like to just stop and say, that right there is a lot of information to digest between what is a customer relationship management system and what is inbound and automations. So if we do have any questions at this point, feel free to chime in. Lauren, I don't know if anyone's asked anything yet. Okay, we will just proceed. All right, so the first one, automatic response. It's a programmed email at its basic level. So they're often form triggered, and examples of the kind of content that can be included in an automatic response, besides being your vacation response, you can have someone someone receive an educational content offer, set and manage expectations around the frequency of your emails. Say if they've signed up for an email newsletter or something of that sort. You can send a link to a blog article, direct that traffic back to your site, something that's on topic about what the form was that they filled out or what interest they indicated. And then sometimes it's nice just to get a personal thank you from the owner of the company. That can be a nice touch. Surveys, when they fill out a survey form, you can send an auto response or just a simple thank you for filling out the form. So I've included here under each sort of example of an automation, articles that give you a chance to read in a lot more detail about each of these bullet points here. So there's a lot to unpack with each of these slides. So that's why we'll follow up and make sure that you have all these resources so you can dig deeper if you want to. All right, web forms. So you've probably all filled out web forms, or if you have a website, you probably have a form of some sort on there. It's a way to gather information from your site visitors that feels comfortable for them. It's focused on the user interface as well as the content that you're trying to gather or the information you're trying to gather from them. So examples include contact forms, order forms, registration, and survey forms. So again, here I gave you a little article, The Ultimate Guide to Web Forms. It's a good one. They've got some good ideas in there on how to make these really usable for your visitor and really make the information that you gain work for you. Okay, so a workflow. What is a workflow? A workflow is basically a chain of automations. So you can set up a series of triggers that cause events to happen, whether that's an internal email to remind you to do something or to remind you to do a set of tasks, automated tasks like moving a deal along in the pipeline. They can be communications tasks to set up lead nurturing campaigns and email communications. So they can be used at the task and communication level, and they're very helpful in saving time and making sure that you're able to implement your sales process. Your marketing touch points are targeted, and you're staying in front of your visitors who've taken whatever actions. So I've given you here some HubSpot specific workflows that they consider essential. I thought they were really good ideas. Assigning lead owners, updating a life cycle stage. So you can set up workflows to do all of this for you. Set up score properties so you can do lead scoring and nurture leads through email campaigns, internal notifications, as I mentioned, creating and assigning tasks, formatting data even. So you can really make it work hard for you. Okay, so now that we know what a workflow is, we can better understand a drip campaign because it's simply a workflow that is a series of emails. You can program how often they go out. You can program a goal that once it's achieved, they automatically unenroll from the drip campaign. So say, for example, you your goal was for them to schedule an appointment. So if someone enrolled in that workflow or drip campaign, if someone took that action, then they would automatically be either unenrolled or they could be put into a different sequence based on their actions. You can program different branches that based on the activities of the viewer, it leads them down a different path. So they can be pretty simple, as in just a series of emails that you send to the same list, or they can be much more complex where you have multiple tracks triggered by actions that your viewers or readers take. So there's an example here, this white paper on recruiting best practices. So if that's a sales funnel, and we'll get into that, but if that's the offer that's part of your sales funnel, once they download that, you could send an automated email response, which could be part of the drip campaign, and then continue to, at a regular cadence, send out follow-up emails. So types of drip campaigns include, for example, onboarding drip campaigns. So if you have a new client and you want to sort of slowly deliver information about how you're going to work together, how the information they need to send you, whatever the case may be, forms that they might need to fill out. You can do that. You could make it onboarding for employees, drip campaign for that, where you're sort of building culture, sending regular emails out to your new employees and help giving them the information they need as they're onboarding. Retargeting, you can again, if someone takes an action and you want to follow that person based on that action, you can retarget and include them in a list. And then post-demo campaigns. So if you've done a demonstration and you have a list of contacts of people who came to the demonstration, and it's, as we use this recruiting example, it's a demonstration on recruiting, I don't know, then you could go through that same sort of flow as in the example. All right, so how to create a drip campaign. So it starts with your software. So you can manually do a drip campaign, but it's not really a drip campaign because it's not automated. It's just a series of emails that you're going to send out to a list or to individuals. So you want to know what platform you're going to be working in. And then you want to identify a goal for your campaign. So as I mentioned in the example before, the goal could be to book a meeting. So whatever your goal for the campaign is, you need to set that so that you, I'm always big on setting goals before diving into any tactics and shooting from the hip. So I think that's a huge one for me is what are you trying to achieve with the campaign? What is the goal from a trigger perspective, but what is also the goal of the campaign from a strategic perspective? Then you want to think about how someone is going to be enrolled in the campaign. So what's going to be the trigger, or are they manually enrolled when you upload the list or upload a list? So thinking about, okay, if they fill out a form, then they get enrolled in the campaign, or I'm going to manually enroll new leads in this campaign, whatever that enrollment looks like. So the touch points, this is key. You're going to want to figure out how many different emails you have in your series. So It's good to have at least three to five is pretty standard. I've seen, drip campaigns that go on continuously, like on a monthly basis. So it's really up to you, and it depends upon your goals, but just a general rule of thumb is an email series is usually between 3 and 5 emails. And really, if you can gear towards the more side, more is more in this instance. Okay, so then you have to create the content. So you want to have 7 touch points. You're going to have to write 7 emails, or incorporate, blog posts that you have, links to those. Make it really valuable and useful content for your audience, and make it personalized. So you can add personalization tokens, they're called. So you can pull in automatically people's first names if you have that data, or their last names or their company names. There's a variety of tokens that you can use to pull in personal data on a contact level, without having to send them something individually. And then realize when it's time to unenroll someone from the workflow or from the campaign. So if someone say doesn't open the first 5 of your 7 emails, maybe at point 5 they are unenrolled from the campaign. So you just want to think about, at what point do I remove someone from the list that's receiving this campaign? And then I put a couple of, I think I had a link in this last one too. No, I didn't. Okay, so I put a link in here to a couple of examples of email campaigns that had really good open rates. Over 40% is pretty darn good. Usually it hovers around 20, 25 open rates. So if you get a 40, be excited and proud of yourself. That's a great open rate. And you do want to keep your lists clean. I don't have lists in here, but lists are hugely important. Obviously, it's your CRM, so you are managing your contacts and managing your lists. But building lists is a little bit different depending upon which platform you're going to use. But they're hugely important, because that's how you determine or filter the criteria by which you want to enroll someone in a campaign. So you can filter by all sorts of properties to pull lists that you can get really targeted. You could pull lists of contacts in Ohio. If you have addresses, you could pull lists of people that you only have, or that you have the first name for. Say you really want to do something personalized and you just want people that you have contacts for which you have a first name. So you can really base those things on a lot of different elements and factors. Okay, so we've kind of been going up the curve here. So a sales funnel is probably the most complicated of the things that we'll discuss today. It really includes all of those things. Those are sort of the elements that build into a sales funnel. So technically, a sales funnel is a visual representation. It's usually visual of the path that your potential customers take when they first come in contact with your brand, and all the way through to when they become a customer, and even post conversion, when they're in the hopefully satisfied, loyal and advocate stages. So it's that, technically it's that process, but a sales funnel has become a term that really refers more to the sales funnel software functionality, because without the software, you couldn't really develop this type of tool in the same way, because you do rely heavily on automations. So with the software, you can create the assets for the campaign. The examples here are landing pages, follow-up emails. So really the tools and features in these platforms help to nurture customers along, or nurture prospects along their journey. So some examples of sales funnels include email opt-ins through pop-ups. So pop-up forms, probably all familiar with those. The basic concept of how the sales funnel works is you have some, it's kind of like a Venus flytrap or a pitcher plant or something, where you attract the customer, and then with an offer, in this case, a subscription to the email, and they have to provide something in return, an email address, and then you have the information that you need to nurture a relationship with that prospect, being their email. So the other ways that you can think about sales funnels, they don't have to necessarily start with an existing visitor on your site. They can start with off-site ads. So say, for example, you have a resource that you're promoting, a checklist to help your customers do what they do better. And you are advertising that resource, which is typically free but gated, meaning you have to put in information to get it. So you're advertising that free resource as bait in your fly trap. And then once someone is in your fly trap or on your website and has downloaded whatever your content offer is, then you have their contact information, and you've achieved the goal of that phase of the sales funnel. And then you continue to nurture that relationship in other ways, like those email drip campaigns, for example. Another thing you can do is build awareness through content marketing. And this kind of goes along with targeting organic searchers. When you have valuable, relevant content on your website, for example, a blog for an IT company that keeps the customers or our audiences engaged with cybersecurity, or things that someone who is looking for managed IT services might be searching for. So then the content on your blog is going to help drive search results, organic search results, and more people will end up on your site. So there's lots of work to do, even in that one little bullet. But keyword research, and there's a lot that goes into it, but that's the basic theory behind it, and it does work. There's also other things you can do to improve your organic SEO. That's a tale for another day. So I did include these examples. I think there's a couple more in the article. These are specific. I like this resource for you guys because it's focused on boosting conversions, and that's what everyone wants to do. That's ultimately the goal of marketing and sales. So I wanted to give you some really relevant examples so you can read about the details on all of these bullet points here. All right, so how do you create a sales funnel? Pretty similar in the way that it starts, defining the problem that you want to solve for your customers and defining the goal of your sales funnel. Then you want to create that offer. So whatever valuable resource you're using to attract potential customers is your offer. It could be a downloadable ebook. It could be a checklist, as I mentioned before. It could be a quiz. It could be a free assessment. It could be some sort of tool, like we have a website grader on our site, for example, and we offer a free hub check. Those are both sales funnels, but they provide great value for the site visitor. And they have different levels of how gated they are, meaning how much information they require you to give to get the resource. So if someone's signing up for your newsletter, you really shouldn't ask for more. I mean, you can ask for their name and email address, but what you're trying to do is create a simple, boundaryless way for people to get what they want, but have it match the value of what you're giving them, so you can get what you want, which is contact information. So that offer, you've got your great offer. Then you want to qualify your leads. This is, I usually say disqualify your leads, because time wasted on nurturing relationships with unqualified leads is just a complete waste of time. So the sooner you can disqualify a lead, the better, because you don't want to waste your efforts on marketing to someone who's not even a viable prospect. And there's lots of ways to do that as well. But I'm going to leave it at that for today. Close the deal, easy one here. And then track and analyze your data. Always important to see what works, see what doesn't work, tweak, possibly run A/B tests, meaning change one slight thing and then rerun to like segment a list, send an A version to one list and a B version to the other, but change one slight thing. You can do multivariate tests where there's where they automatically send out different versions of site pages even. So you can get really complicated in how you can pull, analyze, and apply your analytical understanding to your sales funnels. So this is a really good article here. What is a sales funnel? And it does walk you through the details of creating a sales funnel. If I haven't done a very good job of it, it's an exercise, like a puzzle almost, because you have to think of so many aspects as you're putting together a sales funnel. There's so many pieces, parts. All those earlier automations that we discussed go into it, and you need to think about a variety of aspects as you're putting it together. So it's very effective, but it can be a little tricky to get set up. Once it's running and it's automated, you're in good shape. You're just tweaking based on your analytics. But you can tap in an expert to help you get things set up. We do that sort of thing all the time for our clients. There's other digital marketing firms or agencies that will help you do that as well. So if you are totally out of your realm and need help, you can either pull in a professional. We also have courses, as I mentioned, on different digital marketing topics. So if there's something that really interests you, you can dive into a class and learn about that in great detail. Okay, so I wanted to tell you a little bit more about HubSpot because it is a CRM. It's one of the most popular ones, but it's not just a CRM. It also incorporates marketing, sales, and service, as well as your website into one platform. So you can ensure a seamless, cohesive, consistent process, not just from lead to customer, but in that post-customer stage I mentioned before. So pre-conversion is, well, according to HubSpot, their stages are broken down into attract. Oh, I'm going to totally blank now. I will get back to you on that. They have 3 simple terms. Mine is a little bit more involved. So pre-conversion, you've got awareness. Someone becomes aware of your company. Education, someone seeks out more information and has some understanding of your company. They educate themselves, or maybe they call and you educate them over the phone even. And then consideration is where they're comparing 2 different options, and you could be one of those options. Conversion, a sale is made, an agreement is signed, whatever your conversion point is. And then post-conversion, once someone's a customer, this is where sales and marketing kind of sometimes forget, but a customer-centric approach helps keep all that in mind, and building a customer experience that's stellar becomes hugely important to the whole team when you have a customer-centric approach. So with other platforms, you can do all these things. It might just be, we call it Frankenstein together, but you can use a hybrid of different platforms, things that you're maybe already using, but it's just once you've experienced having all of the data and all of the communications and all of the automations throughout the process of delivering on your promise to your customer, it's a whole nother world. So I wanted to tell you about HubSpot specifically, because they are a really great CRM, especially if you're looking to scale. They have a free version. They have trials of their paid version. I have some free resources for you guys, so you'll get the links to all that. And here are those free resources. So I wanted to share some of the things that I think are cool, and as far as HubSpot's resources. And then I wanted to let everybody know about some specific programs that apply to you all. Since you're JumpStart affiliated, you can take advantage of the JumpStart Partner Program. So if you are interested in learning a lot more about any of those points that we discussed, you can do that. There's a course for almost everything. And then there's a whole comprehensive course on digital marketing. That's a 30-hour course. They all come with certifications. So you do have a certification with that. So we're offering a free trial, and we're also offering JumpStart affiliated folks with 30% off of any of our courses on Marketing Training Room. But wait, there's more. So you can also get reimbursed fully for your tuition if you're an Ohio employer. So there's kind of a fun loophole here, because if you're sitting there thinking, well, I don't have any employees yet, or well, this doesn't apply to me because, you know, I couldn't do it as an employer. You can do it as an employer. A solopreneur, small business owner that doesn't have employees can go themselves. Even a small business owner that is looking to hire a firm and wants to know ahead of time, you know, the questions to ask, and wants to know really how to direct their efforts. Or they have an internal team and they, you know, a business owner wants to understand more thoroughly what the marketing and sales teams are doing. It's great to have that base knowledge and be able to really effectively weigh in on marketing and sales strategy when you have a full understanding of the digital realm as well. Now, this is a new program for Cuyahoga County residents and businesses. It's called Skill Up Cuyahoga, and they not only offer 100% course tuition reimbursement, but they also offer additional employer incentives and employee benefits. So, for example, the employer incentives include promotion raise stipends. So you could actually get money for giving an employee who completes a course a raise. They've actually said that they've had employers who actually made money by using the Skill Up program incentives. So if anyone is based in Cuyahoga County or has an employee in Cuyahoga County, you can qualify for the Skill Up program. They don't just offer these two things, they also offer full business advisory services. So they're just a great resource in general, and I would highly recommend talking more with me if you're interested in getting more information, getting hooked up with that program. And then the fun stuff, I included HubSpot's free tools, the form maker, the signature generator, and then our web grader and hub check. So you can quickly make a form, you can quickly make a very fun or clean and simple professional looking signature with their generator. The website grader churns out a score pretty quickly, and you can, you know, kind of go from there based on what your results are. The hub check is actually an 18-point free assessment that we give specifically for folks who have HubSpot. And then, as I mentioned earlier, HubSpot offers a free trial, or not a free trial, but a free version, and trials of the paid versions as well. So if you can see if it's something that works for you. These are the courses that we offer. So I'm going to send this as well as a link to the JumpStart partner page. It has all the classes listed. You can ask me about classes if there's something you're interested in, but we've had great results and feedback from our students as far as the impacts on their career. So the curriculum that we use for Marketing Training Room is developed under the guidance of these huge household name brands. So we're really learning the best curated knowledge available at the time. It's current, it's constantly updated, biannually. So you've got current best practice information. And that brings us to our conclusion today. Our Q&A can begin at any point. Thank you all for listening to me this whole time. It's very strange to not be able to see or hear any of you, but I hope you enjoyed the information that we covered, and I'm ready to take your questions.
You can plug your questions into the Q&A widget or the chat widget. We'll give everybody a second if they want to think of any questions they still have for Jenny. Okay, one of the questions we have from William is how much of the funnel automation can be done with the free version of HubSpot, Jenny?
So I believe you get one workflow. I'm going to stop sharing my screen, and I can look at the details on that. Do we have any other questions while I'm looking into that?
Any other questions on HubSpot, on CRM? We have a question. Our website integrates with MailChimp today for campaigns. Should we still stick to this path, or can we integrate directly with HubSpot?
Can you integrate MailChimp with HubSpot? Was that the question? I'm sorry.
It sounds like it. Right now, their website integrates directly with MailChimp. Should they stick to that, or should they integrate directly with HubSpot, I believe is the question.
Okay, and they do have HubSpot too?
It's a good question.
If you have HubSpot,
says yes, she has HubSpot.
Okay, if you have HubSpot Marketing Pro, then you definitely want to move your emails over from Constant Contact. They have a similar interface for their drag and drop builders. But you do need, again, the Marketing Pro for sending emails for sending marketing emails.
Thank you. What other questions do we have?
Oh, so just to circle back to that last one. So the reason that you want to try and do that is because if you have all of your data centralized in HubSpot, you're going to get much better comprehensive analytics. So you can integrate, or you could include, say, for example, a sales funnel and an email campaign in the same campaign, say, you don't know Jack campaign. And then you can pull the results for the you don't know Jack campaign and see all of the social that went into it, anything you have tagged with a campaign. So it's really more, it's not so much for the interface or because they do better emails or anything like that. It's just that you're going to get better, more comprehensive analytics from the campaign.
And so it might be the same answer to this follow-up question, but they're grilling you on the choice between MailChimp and HubSpot.
Oh,
So
okay.
what do you recommend and what does that look like? Is it the depth of analytics and the thoroughness of information and the number of features? What is the difference in the benefit of transitioning to HubSpot instead of MailChimp?
Sure. So MailChimp is kind of expanding a little bit, and they do have some more, you can do some more things directly from MailChimp. So, and I was a MailChimp user for years. They were really cutting edge. And they still have a lot of great features. So you can pull reports from MailChimp too. They have analytics functions, and you could manually add those to your reports. So it's not like you can't do it, but you can just, if you have especially if you already have HubSpot marketing or sales, and you want to better utilize it, that's an easy way to better utilize it for sure. But building the templates, they've got pre-made templates, the same kind of interface, like I said, with the drag and drop. So, and then from a pricing perspective, if you don't need all the features of marketing professional, let's say you're looking at HubSpot for your CRM, but you're fine with the marketing starter, other than, you would prefer to send emails through HubSpot. It might make sense from a financial perspective to stick with HubSpot. I've helped a number of companies, both internally and externally, switch, and it was really simple. It was a really simple transition. So I'm not sure if I fully answered everyone's questions on that, but tried to be thorough in my reasonings. They're not inherent, like MailChimp is not inherently a bad platform. It's quite good for what it does. It just doesn't do all the things that HubSpot does.
Sure.
So if you're looking for more of an enterprise, or if you're looking to eventually scale to a place where you would need an enterprise level system, like HubSpot lets you start for free and then scale up as you scale your business. So that's what I like about it. It's not so siloed, and I like to use one platform for all for everything now, because I'm spoiled by HubSpot.
So that is helpful. And on that note, William says, it sounds like there are no major features lost moving from MailChimp to HubSpot, but you gain the integration benefits.
Good summary.
Great.
Yeah. Yeah. So I did pull up the pricing and what's included in the free tools. So I can put this in the chat, right?
You can, do you have access to the Q&A? If you don't, you can put it in the chat and I can.
I do. I don't think I can.
Yeah, you can just put it in the chat and I will put it in the Q&A so that all of the clients can see it.
Okay, since it was William that first asked it, I will send that in response to his, and then I'll put it in the chat as well.
That's perfect. If you just put it in response to his, I think it'll show.
Okay.
Awesome. While she does that, what other questions do we have?
Yeah, if anyone has like pricing or what's included questions, I'm happy to talk in more detail about, any questions that you might have about your specific needs and whether HubSpot would be a fit. And I do know some of the other CRMs as well. So I'm not one to be like, no, you have to use this because I like it and find it to be the best. And a lot of our customers do as well. But if there's something that works better for one of our customers, I'm all about it. So happy to help with that process if anyone is actively looking for a CRM, or to switch marketing platforms. I'm not sure if I mentioned specifically that in addition to being able to blog through HubSpot and send emails and build landing pages and build content offers and forms, and you can actually do that for free. You can also, whoops, sorry, I opened something up and okay, there's all the features. So not only can you do forms and landing pages, totally lost my train of thought.
Said blogs.
Blogs, your website, you can actually build your entire website on their CMS function. So our website is built on their CMS. So they make templates that look exactly like your existing website. So that's easy to transfer over to if you really want integrated analytics. You can also put analytics tags on your existing website to pull your website analytics into HubSpot. You can also do your social posts. That's where I was going with this. You can also do your social posts through HubSpot. You can post to multiple platforms at once, including multiple people's LinkedIn accounts, or really any social accounts that you want. So you could have multiple accounts that you're posting to, from personal profiles to business profiles.
Great. We had a client ask, so we can engage with your services through any of the platforms you previously showed, or should I directly contact you? We are an IT services company, not good at marketing. We need help as we have too many tools and not using them to the best of their ability.
Yeah, exactly. I hear that a lot. If you're ready to have a discussion, I will gladly have a discussion. I just like to talk to people, so I'm happy to have a quick conversation with anyone who needs some guidance. I'd be happy to talk to our IT friend here in particular. I worked for an IT and software tech marketing firm, digital marketing firm, specifically, and I currently actually still have one managed IT customer that I work with. So I'm pretty familiar with the industry. So I'd be happy to talk and walk you through what your options might be.
Thank you. Jenny's contact information will be in the follow-up email. And obviously now you know about front burner marketing, so you can look into her programs and reach out to her directly as well. Do we have any other questions?
It'll be,
go ahead.
Oh, sorry. My email address is in the presentation, but it's jenny@frontburnermarketing.com. And then my phone number is, I don't think it's in there, but if you wanted to just give me a call or text, that's fine as well. It's 216-526-3803. I am going on vacation tomorrow through Tuesday, so I probably won't be super responsive because there will be no internet. Yay! So I get a brain break, but I'll be back in communication on Wednesday. So happy to talk to anyone after that.
Great. Any other questions? I saw a question about the slide deck, and actually this recording, both will be shared with all of you as a result of this session, as well as clickable links, so that you can click on all these awesome additional resources that Jenny has shared with you for more and more and more exploration of this topic. Any other questions?
Really deep.
As deep as you want to.
I did find a direct answer for the first question. So you can actually send bulk emails through the free version, the free marketing version. You just can't create workflows.
Got it.
So yeah, you could still do automated emails. Their free tools are pretty robust. Worth exploring for sure.
It sounds like it. Any other questions from anybody? Speak now or forever hold your peace. Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, Jenny, and your company, Front Burner, for your time, for the great information, and for the offers for our clients. Attendees, once again, you'll get the slides with links and the recording via email after this session. Thank you all for coming. I hope you learned as much as I did. I hope you're feeling demystified regarding CRM, and we look forward to seeing you at future JumpStart events.